Addicted to emotions. To truly grasp the concept of emotional addiction and how it relates to our behavior, we must dive deeper into the nature of addiction itself. Addiction is a complex and often misunderstood phenomenon that isn't limited to substances like drugs or cigarettes. It extends to behaviors and emotions, and it's rooted in the intricate workings of our brain system, particularly in the areas associated with reward, motivation, and memory. Addiction involves the brain's craving for a substance or behavior driven by the pursuit of a perceived reward. This reward isn't always something enjoyable, as seen in the case of cigarettes, where it's not the taste but the emotions and sensations that follow the act that's rewarding. Similarly, negative emotions like sadness can become addictive because they trigger certain patterns in our brain that feel like a reward, even if the feelings themselves aren't pleasant. Just like cigarettes, we often engage in behaviors or thoughts that we know are not beneficial to us. For example, smoking is not enjoyable because of the taste, smell, or its impact on our health. Instead, it's the guilt, shame, and unworthiness that follow the smoking that we become addicted to. We might believe we deserve the negative consequences, and this addiction to negative emotions can be deeply ingrained. Now consider the addiction to feelings of unworthiness. It's not that we enjoy feeling unworthy, just as a smoker might not enjoy the taste of the cigarettes, but we may find ourselves repeatedly drawn to situations that reinforce these feelings, believing we deserve them, subconsciously, of course, thus forming a similar emotional addiction cycle. When we continually expose ourselves to negative emotions, it becomes our known and, in a strange way, feels safe. Just as a smoker becomes accustomed to the harmful effects of cigarettes, we become accustomed to sadness, heartbreak, and abuse. Our emotional system starts perceiving these negative emotions as the norm. For instance, think about the books you choose to read, the movies you watch, or the songs you listen to. These choices contribute to your repeated exposure. If you constantly immerse yourself in heartbreak novels, unhappy movies, or sad songs, you are in a way teaching your emotional body, aka the animal, that sadness is your familiar territory. This repeated exposure to negative emotions can lead to self-sabotage. If you've conditioned yourself to believe that sadness is an inevitable part of life or that happy endings only follow after heartbreak and trauma, you may unconsciously undermine healthy relationships and sabotage, then find yourself wondering, what's wrong with me? To break free from the cycle of emotional addiction and self-sabotage, it's crucial to be mindful of what you are consuming. Especially pay attention to what your unconscious mind absorbs from the background, including TV while doing chores, as well as the conversations in your surrounding area. By controlling your exposure to negativity, you can deliberately shape the emotional environment you desire. Be attentive to the TV shows, music, and conversations you engage with, and seize your exposure to the elements that don't align with what you wish to attract in your life. Understanding that you have the power to choose what you expose yourself to is a crucial step in breaking free from emotional addiction. By consciously deciding to surround yourself with positive influences and uplifting content, you can reshape your emotional experiences and create a more positive and fulfilling life. In this chapter, we've delved into the concept of emotional addiction and how it can impact our lives. Just like breaking free from a cigarette addiction, Breaking free from negative emotional patterns requires awareness, conscious choices, and a commitment to change. By understanding the role of repeated exposure and making choices that support your emotional well being, you can work toward a happier and more fulfilling life. P.S. I love you.